Okay, today we are opening up some of the new Marvel set for Curio Cavern. So these are going to be about two full boxes of Marvel Superheroes Play Boosters. We're currently in the shop at Loisdale and have quite a few patrons here today, all very excited about this set and what is to come. So you've probably already heard a ton of the hype online, so I probably won't go into details about as many of the cards, just kind of sharing the experience of opening up one of these boxes and all of the boosters therein. So let's go ahead and get started. Same form factor, pretty much as what you're used to for play booster boxes. And here again, we'll open this up. You can see a little insert here to scan here to discover the coolest cards. So just a little bit of extra ways to learn about all the different treatments in the set. And then, as usual, you get an idea for all of the various draft archetypes that you can play if you're into sealed and limited. So now I'll just show you some of the different people you can see on the front. So we have like Scarlet Witch here, we have Wolverine, we have Black Panther. Let's see. It looks like those might be the main people that are featured on the play boosters. Let's get them nice in front and center here. And I'll put the box to the side and we can begin. So let's start up with these play boosters. It looks like there's actually a little notch up here, so that could make some of the process a little bit easier, especially since I'll have to open up quite a few play boosters. But here we're starting out with our commons shield kit to get us started. Then we have Widow's Bite, Agent of Atlas, Red Room Recruit. It's a card that reminds me of a Pauper card. Kree Sentinel. A lot of the sets have had these basic land cyclers just to help out a little bit with the mana. Make sure that you're situated in draft and sealed. Restorative Technique. Super Suit. Shield Helicarrier. I'm seeing quite a few artifacts. Spider Woman, Secret Agent. So something to help some of your creatures get through by tapping and stunning. Loki. Okay, so we got one of the first, well, I guess the others have been recognizable as well, but in recent Marvel history, I guess, in the MCU, we've seen Loki come up quite often. And being able to copy spells is always a good thing. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. It's been a little bit since I've played Commander, but this is a Commander that I was interested in trying out. So maybe I will try them at some point. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Unfortunately, a person that I'm missing a little bit of context for, but just seems incredibly fun. Also, pretty powerful for casual games, and just a way to inject a little bit of that Marvel humor into the games that you play. We have a foil here. You can get a sense for the foils. An Iron Fist Living Legend, or Living Weapon. And then we have our planes and our token. So the way that I'll structure most of this is later on I'll sort through everything, but I will begin by splitting everything up into our commons, our uncommons, and then our rares and mythic rares. Probably we'll start going a little bit faster after we go through the first sets of boosters here. And let's go ahead and flip this around. Atlantis Attacks. That's pretty neat. Interesting little whale like animal back in the background. Widow's Bite. Combat Tricks. Raft Security Officer. We can see Rhino in the window there. Go Nuts, another Squirrel Girl reference. Kind of funny to see all the squirrels messing around with Doctor Doom. Definitely very much in the Marvel humor vein here. Our basic land cycler is back in Kree Sentinel. We say thee nay. Looks like a pretty epic moment from the Marvel stories. Ultron drone. So again, there is definitely an artifact theme in this set. And you'll be looking for pieces to fill out your curve if you're playing limited. Then we have Black Widow, also another character that's become pretty popular in the last few years. Wonder Man, Hollywood hero. Interesting that it'll allow you to use your power up abilities in additional time, so something to kind of look out for. Usually you can only use them once. Then Ghost Spectral Saboteur. I always love just having a creature with flash, having a creature with flash that can't be blocked as well. Definitely something I'll be on the lookout for. Hidden Layer, yeah, so another set of lands where if you had a basic land enter, on a turn, you unlock its ability to tap for different colors of mana. Otherwise, you will just get colorless mana. We have the Astonishing Ant-Man, Simic stuff, card draw, counters, nothing too wild here. Hydra Troopers, again, just another opportunity to create some tokens. There's definitely a token theme in the set as well. So we'll put these to the side, grab the cards we looked at before, split those up again, and we're up to our third booster. So 2 more after this, and then we'll start to switch over to more of the speed run style opening. AIM Scientists, Hour of Defeat, destroy target creature, Surveil 1. Definitely a powerful moment from the Black Panther movie. Helicarrier Strike, Savage Land Dinosaur, another basic land cycler. Futurist Forge. We've had a couple of artifacts in the last few sets that have also made their way into Pauper that have a similar effect. This one probably won't, but you never know. Then we have Hire a Crew. So again, token creation as a little mini theme in the set. Oh, and here we get a full art treatment of Blazing Crescendo. So a card that's been reprinted before, but if this is a card you run in your decks, you get a really cool treatment featuring Scarlet Witch. And Johan Grenier is the artist for this one. It's also really interesting to see all of the new artists that have had an opportunity to contribute to this moment. Death to Our Enemies. That's pretty funny. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a tapped creature token and put a plan counter on this enchantment. When the 4th plan counter is put on this enchantment, sacrifice it. When you do, it deals 7 damage as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Yeah, so a little bit of ramp and some removal. Don't mind that at all. Robot Domination is next. Whenever one of our cards are put in your graveyard from anywhere, you draw a card and lose a life. Put a plan counter on this enchantment. Also, very powerful effect. Plans will definitely be something to keep in mind and find a way to represent them as the game progresses. Creating 3 2/2 bodies off of this is something I'll definitely be looking for. Then we have Spider-Man to the Rescue. Another flash creature, Live to See It, Vigilance and Reach. When it enters, you may tap them and give a creature indestructible, non-attacking creature that is. A lot of utility here, combat trick as a creature, and just a body to be able to attack back with. Then we have Wiccan Rising Magician. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile another target. Non-land card, non-land, non-token permanent. Ooh, interesting. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So won't be able to blink away tokens, opposing tokens with this, but really great to, you could blink something out before You play a board wipe if you wanted to on your own board, blink a blocker out on the opponent's side, so there's definitely some utility here. Thunderbolt's Conspiracy. When a villain you control dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a finality counter on it. That creature is a hero in addition to its other types. So this feels very flavorful to me. Justice like lightning, also short and sweet flavor text. Love the transition from villains to heroes. So yeah, something that definitely has my brewer's hat on. And then we have Hulk Smash as our foil, and AIM Labs to round us out. So again, get all these cards together. Boom, boom. All right, now we'll begin to go a little bit faster. Hydrated Filtration, a card that a couple people loosely have been looking at for Pauper. Could be fun. Hero in Training, Bold Biochemist. So definitely have a couple of scientists that have been popping up in the last couple sets called Damage Control, Crimson Operative, Giant Growth, Vibranium Energy Daggers. And we'll move on to the uncommons. Agent 13, Sharon Carter. Yeah, whenever triggers, really good. Attacking alone, you can create a clue per turn. If you have extra combats, you can do more. So really interesting. We also definitely love these future side effects. Being able to look at the top card of your library at any time. And here also, a pretty powerful effect and being able to draw cards off of that. If you have any untap effects, that can also serve you really well. Hulk Gamma Goliath, decreasing the cost of those other power-up abilities. War Leader's Call, a card that got pretty popular and also was a little bit, cost a little bit at some point. Cool to see it reprinted here. We'll see if that ends up impacting the price or not. Then we'll get into the rares. Electra, Daughter of the Hand. So the hand and Ninja Turtles, the feet, are both entities that have appeared as villains throughout both of the sets. And here we see Sneak return, which is an ability that I thought was actually quite a lot of fun in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Limited. And then from there we have Depower as our foil, and then our Asgardian Citadel, and an insect token to round us out. All right, continuing on. Kingpin's Enforcers, Take Up the Shield, Ninja of the Hand, another power-up creature, Lightning Strike, classic, always reprint it, Super Suit, Undercover Scroll, Surveillance Room, another Surveil Land, great to see, or Surveil Land in the Pauper sense, not in the common sense. Kazar of the Savage Land, another ability to look at the top of your library, and then you can play lands from the top, and you can create a token. So a lot of effects stapled onto a creature. Here, you can pay life to add 2 mana, only to use equipment spells or activate equipment. So really interesting seeing this on a black card. Definitely for all of your Mardu decks that might be using equipment, or maybe if you can even think about mono black decks. This is definitely worth keeping an eye out for, especially because it can act as removal as well. And we have Quake Agent of Shield, another thing with a triggered ability. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, tap target creature or land. Seems pretty good to me. Gleaming Bastion, another of the lands we talked about further or earlier. Avengers Assemble. I think there's also a card called Avengers Dissembled, maybe. So yeah, funny to see this here. Flash. And buffs up all of your creatures. It then also gives you the ability to draw cards. So a lot of powerful effects stapled on one thing. And then we have a foil Castle Doom. Another cool card to see here. And Hell's Kitchen rounding us out. So let's get these cards situated. And continue on. All right. Project Deathlock Soldier, Brave Brawler, Ninja of the Hand, Undercover Scroll again, Super Speed. To me, it's always funny that cards that reference speed can also have First Strike as an effect as opposed to haste. Knight of the Wundagore, Dependable Quinjet, and then we're moving on to our demigods Hercules, Prince of Power. Disappear. Too evil to stay dead. Hilarious to me. I think that's Ultron. If I'm mistaken, roast me in the comments, please. Iron Fist, Living Weapon. Bullseye, Death Dealer. Love that comic book art. Kev Walker being featured here. And we see a couple of cards here in the corner and Little Fist here. So definitely, maybe foreshadowing things to come. Jennifer Walters, your opponent can't cast spells during your turn. So this is an effect that is pretty exciting for CEDH. The bottom pips give it the restriction of only being available to Selesnya decks or to decks that have Selesnya and other colors. But definitely a card that I'll be keeping an eye on for my CEDH and Commander decks. And we are finishing off with Aerial Doombot. Beautiful swamp here. Really love the dark shadowing here. You can kind of get the outline of the skull, two eyes, a little bit there. So yeah, just very pretty. And our soldier token. Continuing on. Atlantis attacks, take the shield, Visions of Villainy, Panther Pounce, I am Iron Man, Kunlun Warrior, Pet Avengers, and we're moving on to, oh wow, I didn't even realize how many creature types there were here. Dragon, Cat, Dog, Bird, Frog, Hero. Wow. Never did I think I'd see something like that. Bullseye Death Dealer, Agent Maria Hill, Hawkeye, Young Avenger, Atuma, Atlantean Warlord. Oh, cool. A warlord, or sorry, a Merfolk Lord with a card draw effect on it. That is pretty amazing. The Wondrous Wasp. Heard a little bit about this for standard, potentially. The ability to enter and tap a creature and have it lose all of its abilities seems pretty strong. Also having Flash and Flying, never a bad thing. We have Speed, Young Avenger as our foil here. And being able to give a creature with haste unblockable is also a pretty interesting effect as the triggered ability. Lastly, we have our lands and tokens, and we're chugging right along. Alrighty. Cruel Alliance. AIM Scientists, Agent of Atlas, Stark Industries Executive, Supersuit, Powerful Broker, Vibranium Daggers. Alright. Killmonger, Scourge of Wakanda. Killmonger enters, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls. Oh, I think there was like a Skyfisher spider or something that did a similar effect. As long as there are two or more creatures in your graveyard, Killmonger gets +2/+1. So yeah, fuse itself to make itself bigger. Red Guardian, very cool. Hellcat, Undying Vigilante. Photon Blast Barrage by Photon herself. And we have Loki, God of Mischief, allowing those abilities, or basically getting you card draw whenever a permanent becomes a target of an ability you control. Very cool. Pet Avengers is our foil. And then we have our swamp and our token. Moving right along. Hour of Defeat, Agent's Shield, Unliving Legionnaire. Haven't seen this before. Vampire Villain. Frozen the Ice, Repulsor Blast, Serpent Specialist, Blazing Crescendo again. We have Evil's Thrall, Captain Marvel, Spaceborne, very cool. Oh, interesting, a flash effect. I gotta stop getting stuck on these flash effects. So cool, Madam Mask. Echo, Perceptive Prodigy. Looks like Kingpin is getting a kick to the face. Taskmaster. Let's see what Taskmaster's up to. Photographic Reflexes. Beginning of your first main phase until your next turn, Taskmaster becomes a copy of up to one target creature on the battlefield or creature card in a graveyard. Wow, either of the two. Except his name is Taskmaster. It seems like we're getting a lot of these effects that allow you to make copies of of legendaries or become copies of legendaries. It's very cool. Just have Stolen Stark technology. Oh, look at the art here, though. This is unexpected. Kind of go in a little bit closer there. This is actually very pretty and kid friendly. Moving along. Alright. Shield Wall, Red Room Recruit, Quandan Drone Flock, Lantean Cavalry, Restorative Technique, Hydra Saltbot. This is a card that some people, it's basically an artifact version of Reckless Fireweaver. So if you love your artifacts and if you want to get your pings in, this is a new card to consider. Also, potentially a card that can slot into some popper shells, so I'm personally pretty excited about it. Hulk Smash in that extended or full frame art. Very cool. Super Villain Lockup. Gotta have that effect. Tigra, Feline Fury. Alright, so we have a life gain sub-theme. Wow, there are a lot of cards with Flash in this set. Very neat. Thirst for Knowledge. Ooh, love this re-envisioning of a classic. Human Torch, Johnny Storm. Yeah, so the ability to ping on card draw when you draw a card. So not punishing others, but gaining advantage yourself. Arc Reactor. Improvise. This artifact enters tapped. Add 3. Yeah, very solid ramp effect here. It's like if you want a little ramp on top of the ramp you already have, Arc Reactor is the way to go. And we have Ronin, Shadow Stalker, Subterranean Cave, and this little wall token. Let's continue on. Agent's Shield, Shield of Flayman, Stolen Stark Technology, Crowd of True Believers, Volcanic Villain, Powerful Broker. For each kind of counter on target permanent player, give that permanent or player another counter of that kind. Oh, wow. Nice, neat little effect. If I draw like Helper, I don't know why. I like this card. The double negative is definitely interesting. This mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. Super Speed, Black Panther, Vanguard, Rewrite History. A lot of card draw. Fing Fan Foom. I have a strong desire to see somebody else use this for land destruction. I don't necessarily need to be the one to do it myself, but I know that there is a person on MTG Goldfish who loves land destruction, and I'm so happy this card was printed so that I can watch that content later on. You have Wiccan Rising Magician as a foil, our island, and our token. Moving on. Cruel Alliance, Carrier Strike, Agents of Hydra, Frozen in Ice, Savage Land Dinosaur, Repulsor Blast, Super Strength, Jessica Jones, Private Eye. Oh, it's been a long time since I watched the Jessica Jones show. Ant-Man again, Whiplash. Each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of equipment attached to him. Okay, yeah, black artifacts. Very cool. Iron Man armor. Wow. When it enters, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature has +2/+1 in flying. And 2, if it isn't a creature, it becomes a construct hero. This creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control until end of turn. Yeah, very, very cool effect, very powerful effect. Neat to see how they made this card a reality. Daredevil, Man Without Fear. Another effect that lets you look at the top card or turn. There's going to be a lot of looking at the top deck in games in this set. Um, and yeah, if you want, you can exile the top card of your library when you for your attack. And if the card is a hero card, Daredevil will get powered up, and you can play it this turn. So interesting way to reward attacks. Oh, I really love the composition of this mountain here. Just like a beautiful straight line with that shot across. You get to see the battle in the sky. Yeah, neat, 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 neat. And these leviathans that are like giant whale-headed beings. Not gonna lie, this might be my new favorite token. Continuing on. Okay, Trickster's Stratagem, Crowd of True Believers, Kingpins Enforcers, Kunlun, Go Nuts, Knight of Wundagore, Lightning Strike, Swordsman Sharp Scoundrel, Night Nurse Healer of Heroes. Oh yeah, putting in all the work to keep the heroes alive. That's so funny. For Knowledge, Rick Jones, Destined Sidekick. And then let's get to our rares. Doom Reign Supreme. Yep, another enchantment that is a plan. Whenever a creature you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Oh, interesting drain effect. So it's almost like powered up impact tremors. And then when the fifth plan is put on this, though, you sacrifice it. And when you do, target opponent exiles the top 5 cards of the library. You cast up to 2 spells from among the exiled cards without paying their mana costs. Yeah, that is powerful and definitely would be a reason to try to make a villains deck work. You have Atlantean Cavalry, and finally AIM Labs and our token. Gorilla. Love the little quips here. I thought you all were globetrotting superhero types. You act like you've never seen a talking gorilla before. Nice. Herbie Scout Unit. Moving on to the uncommons, we have Thor Odinson, Kid Loki. Each creature you control that you've put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on this turn has hexproof. When you redraw your second card, each turn put a 1/1 counter on Kid Loki. That seems like it could get pretty powerful. Political Triumph, another plan. We see Fisk, aka Kingpin, Claim the Kingdom, another plan. Serpent Society. Definitely heard rumblings about this card. Some people will love it, some people won't. And yeah, give it a shot, give it a try. See how it feels. Um, Combining, poison, which is a contentious mechanic, with ward, which has also been somewhat contentious in the past, and then also a sacrifice effect. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how that plays out in different commander communities. Let's put Crimson Operative in this away. Alright, Kree Commandos, Frozen Ice, Visions of Villainy, Super Strength, D Power, Crimson Operatives, Pet, Mr. Hyde, Monster Within. Very neat. Red Guardian again, Kid Loki again, and here we have the Sentry. Flying, Vigilance, Indestructible. When the Sentry enters, target opponent creates the Void, a legendary 5/5 black horror villain creature token with flying, indestructible, and the Void attacks each combat if able. Let's put this here, here, and continue on. Alright, wipe up Rocks and Brutes. I am Iron Man. Machinesmith Automaton. Here's another one. Fun little, for me personally, Pauper Aspiration. Just like to see these artifacts and especially robots. There have been a couple of cards now that are robots, and there's a fun little card from an unset called Clowning Around that synergizes with them well. See how it goes. Hawkeye's Bow. This card has caused a lot of conversation in the Pauper community, and also has spread to a couple other communities because with Seeker of Skybreak or with any creature that can untap itself, you can infinitely ping people down. So it's a 2-card combo that you can get as early as turn 3 without any kind of acceleration, but with acceleration beforehand, you can get there earlier. Iron Fist, Crossbones, Patriot. Here we have Spider-Man to the rescue. Seen this earlier, different treatment. Johan Grenier doing his thing again. Here it is, Avengers Disassembled, a land destruction spell. There are going to be people that will be playing more land destruction, and chances are, if it gets played on you, you may have deserved it. Let's go on to the next one. Visions of Love. We say the nay, or we scout. Dark Deed. This is a first. It's -4/-4. Clean will probably get rid of many of the threats that you'll encounter, at least in limited and sealed. That Beast Erudite Aerialist. Another opportunity to draw cards. Draw a card. So many cards that say draw a card. The Coming of Galactus. This is a card that was released earlier, and there was some definitely discussion about it. Very cool to see it in person and how it looks as in the Enchantment Saga framing. Visions of Love again, and then your tokens and a land. Ninja of the Hand, Wakandan Drone Flock, Stolen Stark Tech. Skip ahead a couple of these. Take up the shield. Look at that art. Very, very pretty. Johan got all of the art. Wonder Man, Speedball, Moonstone, Harsh Mistress, Super Soldier Serum. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has first strike and vigilance and is a legendary soldier, in addition to its other types. Whenever enchanted creature attacks or blocks, attach any number of equipment you control to it. Equipment, you will be having fun with equipment. Alright. Here. Photon. Mockingbird. Targets a creature control, put a 1 counter. Double strike. So this is a creature that can grow pretty quickly. Training Compound. There we go. Cloak and Dagger Entwined. When Cloak and Dagger enter, choose target opponent and up to 1 target creature they control. They reveal their hand. You may exile a non-land card from their hand. or the chosen creature until Cloak and Dagger leave the battlefield. Yep, you got options. You get information. Very cool. Then we have Jennifer Walters again. So yeah, that silence effect. And the silence effect, I just realized, is on both sides. So it's not as if it changes if you flip her. Very cool. Let's see this mountain, though, as a foil. Yeah, just very pretty art. All right. Iron Man, Master of Machines. Yep. Buff for artifacts. And then when it attacks, an artifact enter, you can draw a card. Lots of good card draw. Let's see Falcon, Winged Wonder. When it enters, create Red Wing, a legendary 1/1 bird scout creature token with flying. Whenever it attacks, reveal one. Two bodies in one. Ironheart, clever champion. Improvise, flying non-creature spells you cast with improvise. Seems like a very strong effect to me. There are many um, artifacts that you can get out pretty quickly. So I imagine if you're playing her as a commander, you can get those out fast, and then all the rest of your spells, or all the rest of your non-creature spells, have improvise. There's no restriction on artifacts, so you can use artifacts to cast artifacts. Interesting. Nick Fury, Agent of Shield. This was a card that I actually was had a conversation about earlier today. Um, as a 1 mana, 5 color commander, there's just interesting opportunities to consider what a CEDH deck would look like. In CEDH, there's a class of decks called slop decks that consist of just the best combination of cards in those colors. Oftentimes, they're relatively commander agnostic. Sometimes they try to get some amount of benefit from them, but Nick Fury is the cheapest creature in terms of mana value that is also a 5 color commander. So it'll be exciting to see how people brew and innovate on this card. Outside of CDH, I don't necessarily see a big application of this card except for creating or having that one commander that you can basically put every card in the set in. So you could create an interesting power up deck here. But yeah, don't expect that we'd see this in any competitive formats. These over. Continuing on. Once we get past the first box, I probably won't comment much anymore at all. War Machine, Justice, She-Hulk, Hex, World War Hulk. Another card people have been pretty excited about. I think one of the questions that I would hear, for specifically CEDHs, is the Senatali card, for instance. Outside of that, it's just going to be so fun in Commander. The fact that you can resolve a red or green creature spell without paying its mana cost after this. Imagine being able to manipulate the counters on your Saga. Yeah, just a ton of really interesting, or maybe I should say, really fun, big moments that you can create. And moving right along. Ooh, the thing. Let's stop here for a second. Whenever one or more heroes you control deal damage to a player, put 2/1/1 counters on the thing. Wow, the thing is going to get huge. That is pretty sweet. 7/7. Powerful stats. This you could see in limited, but not necessarily outside of that. Captain America Super Soldier enters with a shield counter, and as long as he has a shield counter on him, you and heroes you control have hexproof. Wow, that's powerful. First strike as well. So yeah, it'll be cool to see how Captain America plays out. Electro once again to my continuing on. Agent Phil Coulson. Cool. What does that remind me of? There was a card that used to be played in Modern, maybe? Was it Mirrodin? Tap it, put a counter on each artifact creature you control. So, yeah, very cool to see this here for heroes. Very simple design. Storm, Wind Rider. Creatures with flying can attack you or creatures you control. Whenever you cast a spell that targets one or more creatures, these creatures gain flying until end of turn. As you can hear, things are getting more lively in the shop, but we continue on. Players are really excited to get these cards, and we want to make sure that we can deliver on that excitement. Very cool. Full art here, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. All right, leader, super genius. If a creature you control would connive, instead you draw a card, then that creature connives. Cool. Beginning of your combat on your turn, target creature control connives. Yeah, okay. I see now. Yeah, 4 mana makes sense. Alrighty. Winter Soldier, I see attached to him. I see Assassin. Soldier gets +2/+0 for each equipment attached to him. Oh, wow, yeah. 2 mana value, Vigilance and Menace. And you can return it from your graveyard with a finality counter and attach equipment. This is cool. I really like this. I didn't expect it, and neat to see. AIM Scientists. All right, we've got about 4 more packs in the first box, and then we are speed racing through the rest. 43 minutes in. Abomination, Terrifying Tyrant. Oh, wow. Titan. Just making up all kinds of words. Very cool. Mole Man is definitely a card there's been discussion about. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe. Could we see this in standard? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. Could this be a standard card? Alrighty. Super Adaptoid. Equal to the number of legendary creatures you control. Whenever it enters or attacks, choose another target creature. The creature has haste, and Super Adaptoid doesn't. Put a haste counter on it. Oh, wow. And then the same for all the rest. That is really neat. 2 mana. Wow, powerful. Really, really powerful. Oh, actually, let's see what we have here. I, again, did not expect that I would like this art this much, but it's just like whimsical. It's really a really nice reimagining of Marvel. Yeah, and it just gives me, this makes me think of childhood. Very cute. Death to our enemies. Alien invasion. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red alien creature token with haste. And this token attacks each combat if they will put a 1/1 counter on it for each invasion counter on this enchantment. Then put an invasion counter on this enchantment. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Jeez. We're going in. We are going in. All right. One more. Oh, let's. Super intelligence. At the beginning of upkeep of enchanted creature's controller, their player draws a card. Huh. Yeah, neat. That's fun. Baron Helmut Zemo. Whenever you cast a black spell from your hand, Baron Helmut Zemo Connives boast exile any number of black cards from your graveyard with 15 or more black mana symbols among their mana cost. Copy those exile cards and cast up to 3 copies without paying their mana costs. Yeah, that's neat. That'll create some really big moments. We have Captain America's Shield +0/+8. What a stat boost. Whenever it attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. Help you push through some of that damage. It's legendary, indestructible. Very neat. Killmonger, Scourge of Wakanda. I actually really like the layering on this card, or what seems to be the layering. It's giving a really neat visual effect where it actually feels, yeah, the character portrayed feels much closer. Alrighty. Alright, continuing on. Second video, so we'll move on a little bit more quickly here. Another Mole Man. Nice. Alright, nothing particularly new there. Another Winter Soldier. Origin of the Avengers. Neat little enchantment. Cool saga. Ooh, Captain America's Shield. That is neat. Comic book art, foil. We love it. Another Serpent Society. Oh, yeah. I called the drones Ultron itself. They are actually Ultron drones. Hulk Smash. Agent Phil Coulson. Avengers Assemble. Alright. Hitting some repeats. Huh, cool. Interesting art. Ten rings. Your maximum hand size is 10. At the beginning of your end step, if you have fewer than 10 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. Alright. Yeah, let's cheat that out, please. Please, please, please. Hmm, it's pretty cool. Avengers Tower, another Captain America's shield. We have gotten a few of those so far. Super Adaptoid Part 2. Ooh, Arc Reactor. That's new. Oh, no. We've had this before. Nice. Moving right along. Madam Hydra. These comic book arts are fun. I really like it. Great. Spider Woman, Secret Agent. Another hero token. Hmm. Sylvia. Just phenomenal art. This feels like the front page of the New York Times. I'd put this up as art. I'd definitely hang that up for sure. All right, let's see what we got here. Visions of Love. Ronin Shadow Stalker. Another Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Raft Security Officer. And putting the rest away. Epic Fight. Double target creature's power and toughness until end turn. Target creature. Control it. Epic Fight. Um, yeah, really cool. Another Winter Soldier. Grim Reaper, Lethal Legionnaire. Oh, reanimate effect. Very cool. Superhero Civil War. Gain control of up to two targeted creatures with total mana value 6 or less for as long as the saga remains on the battlefield. The creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance until end of turn. Target creature you control fights up to one other target creature. Notably, it doesn't have to be an opponent control. It's interesting. Very, very interesting. Ooh, another World War Hulk. Let's go. The Vision, another powerful card. Flying Vigilance. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose one that has been chosen this turn. The Vision gains double strike until end of turn. The Vision gains indestructible until end of turn, or draw a card. Neat, neat, neat. Ooh, Worlds Within Worlds. Exile all creatures. Each player may put any number of creature cards from their hand onto the battlefield, then put all cards exiled this way into their owner's hands. Exile Worlds Within Worlds. It's like Living End. Neat. Oh, very nice Merfolk token. Three steps ahead. Reprint. Looking great. King T'Challa. Another second coming of Fairy Mastermind. Very cool. Astonishing Ant-Man again. Doom reigns supreme again. Ooh, Black Widow Super Spy. Whenever Black Widow deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You put a 1/1 counter on Black Widow. If you don't, you may cast the exiled non-land card until end of turn, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. Neat. Cool little theft effects in this set. Avengers Under Siege. You can create some villain tokens, 2 damage each non-villain creature and opponent, and then create a treasure token for each villain you control. Neat. Oh, this one was a card that people had talked about. the fact that it can start off on the battlefield. This effect previously was only for the ley lines, and so we have a mutant hero ley line now. Alright, we've seen all of those before, so we can just carry right on. Elektra again, Red Hulk. Captain America, Wings of Freedom. A ward creature, 3/1 flying first strike, ward 1. Whenever it attacks each other, the creature you control gets plus X, where X is Captain America's toughness. Okay, I thought it was going to be power for a second. That would have been incredible. Still very good. All you got to do is grow that toughness. Get in the gym, do those squats. Nothing really crazy here. Another bullseye art. Origin of the Avengers. We saw this earlier. Captain America Super Soldier again. Alright, time to put away some of these cards as the piles grow larger and larger. Vision Quest. Search your library and or graveyard for an artifact creature card with mana value X or less and put it onto the battlefield with X additional 1/1 counters on it. If X is 4 or greater, it gains haste until end of turn. Search your library this way, shuffle. Neat. This is Marvel, Kamala Khan. Vigilance for each, you have no maximum hand size. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. Until end of turn, Miss Marvel gains Miss Marvel's base power is equal to the number of cards in your hand. Neat. Baron Strucker, Hydra Overlord. Neat. Ooh, very cool. Monica Rambeau. Flying and prowess, 3/3 for 3. Transform her. Photon, Living Light, Flying Hexproof Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature control. Powerful. Vision Quest Part 2. We have Captain America again. We have the Sentry, Avengers Hangar, and then a token. Super Scroll, 5 mana command, or sorry, 5 color commander. You create wall tokens, +4/+4, 4 damage to a creature, or draw 4 cards. Very cool. Make all these abilities cheaper, and you're in for a good time. Captain Marvel, Earth's Protector, Flash Flying, Lifelink, and Power Up. Awesome. Pretty good. See that pop up in Limited. Yeah, I'm getting the sense it'll be limited, full of creature tricks. Madam Hydra. Agent Phil Coulson. I think that might be our third Agent Phil Coulson. Ruinous Wrecking Crew. Enters with X/1/1 counters on it. Enters, choose up to X. Discard a card, draw a card. Destroy target token. Target opponent loses 2 life. Each player sacrifices a creature of their choice. Cool. Super Soldier Serum again. Shuri. And we're moving on. Kraken packs. Over and over. Ooh, cool. Neat little art here. Thor, God of Thunder. Thor enters, exile target equipment, instant, or sorcery card from your graveyard until the end of your next turn, and you play that card. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Thor deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target. Nice. Scientist Supreme of AIM. Pay to life. Copy target art of. Whoa, 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 whoa. Pay to life. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control from an artifact source. You may choose new targets for the copy. Activate only during your turn and only once each turn. Powerful. Very, very powerful. Yeah. Heroic Feast. Whenever this enchantment enters, create a food token. Whenever you gain life, choose up to that many target creatures you control. Put a 1/1 counter on each of them. Very cool. Construct a Cosmic Cube. Whenever you draw your second card each turn. Oh, we already read through this. Putting that away. Ooh, no mercy. Whenever a creature deals damage to you, destroy it. Yeah, look at that. Neat. Castle. Wow, that is so dope. Look at that art. Namor. Yeah, yeah, love that. And here I thought the pack was about to end pretty boring, but geez, what a card. I realize it was so impressive that I completely forgot to read the text for it. So we'll get to that in just a moment. Let's pick this back up. Namor. Flying. Namor's power is equal to the number of merfolk you control. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with one or more blue mana symbols in its mana cost, create that many 1/1 blue merfolk creature tokens. Yeah, I ain't trying to get it. Oh, let's see. Armor Wars. You may draw a card for each artifact you control. Jeez. If you do, each opponent draws a card. Artifact spells you cast one. Wow. Artifact spells you cast this turn cost one less to cast. Every time I think I know where this is going, it goes beyond. The saga deals X damage to target opponent, where X is the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. Okay, cool. 4 mana seems good or reasonable. There's always that tension between running running non-artifact spells in your artifact deck. Ultra and Artificial Malevolence. Whenever another non-token artifact you control enters, you may pay 2. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it. If the token isn't a creature, it becomes a 2/2 robot villain creature in addition to its other types. Yes, proliferation of evil, artificial intelligence, or artificial malevolence in this case. All right. Another astonishing Ant-Man, Yellow Jacket, and their tokens. All right, making our way, making our way. Epic fight here. Ares, God of War. Cool. Wow. Rocket launcher too. This is sick. Ares attacks each combat. If able, whenever an attacking creature you control dies, return that card to its owner's hand. Okay. 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 Doesn't seem too wild. Ooh, another King T'Challa. Another Bullseye. Ooh, here we go. Something a little new, something a little different. Kang the Conqueror. Flying power up, put a 1/1 counter on Kang. Take an extra turn after this one. During that turn, power up abilities can't be activated. Yeah, neat. Another Monica Rochambeau. Dark Fortress. And another Ironheart. Clever champion. Another Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Thunderbolt's Conspiracy. We saw this earlier. Alrighty. Another box down. Ooh, here we go. A card that's caused a lot of conversation. Bruce Banner. Yeah, well, let's start here. Yeah, let's give this the attention it deserves. It's caused Caltrops to spike. So we have for 1 blue, a legendary creature human scientist hero. It's a 1/1. XX and tap, draw X cards, activate only as a sorcery. And for 2 red, red, green, green, transform Bruce Banner, activate only as a sorcery. You shouldn't make me angry because if you do, on the backside we have the Incredible Hulk. Reach trample. Whenever the Incredible Hulk is dealt damage, put a 1/1 counter on him. If he's attacking, untap him, and there is an additional combat phase after this phase. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Yep, so infinite combats with that Caltrops. Worlds within worlds. Ooh, nice. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Yeah, another very cool art here. Sway Art is responsible for that. Chain creature, Secret Invasion. Enchant creature you control. When this aura enters, exile up to one target creature other than the enchanted creature until this aura leaves the battlefield. The enchanted creature becomes a copy of that creature until this aura leaves the battlefield. Enchanted creature has Ward 2. Yeah, cool. Removal, copy, all of that. Oh, wait. How could I just completely breeze past this Galactus token? Elder Alien, Flying Trample. Whenever Galactus attacks, destroy target land. 16/16. Wild. Hawkeye, Master Marksman. First strike reach. Whenever Hawkeye becomes tapped, you may pay one up to 3 times. What do you do? Choose up to that many. Target creature can't block this turn. Hawkeye deals 2 damage to target player. Discard a card, then draw a card. Nice. Another Nick Fury. We've had quite a few Nick Furies at this point. Arn Nimzola, Biofanatic. Cool. Ooh, the Scarlet Witch. Instant and sorcery spells you cast with mana value 4 or greater cost X less to cast, where X is Scarlet Witch's power. Neat. Oh, I forgot to do this too. The Tiger God. Legendary creature. Cat God. Tiger God can't be blocked by more than one creature. Okay, no new hits in that one. Shield Flying Car. Flash Flying. Whenever this creature enters, exile up to one target creature control. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. That's pretty sweet. Ooh, cool. Extinction event. Oh, the Thanos snap. Wow. Yeah, perfect. Perfect for this card. Truly. Another unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Another Taskmaster. Another Super Scroll. Another Heroic Feast. Another Ultron. Ooh, very cool. Take up the shield. Wolverine, fierce fighter. Haste. Whenever Wolverine enters, he fights up to one other target creature. If damage will be dealt to Wolverine, instead the damage is dealt, but all other damage already dealt to him is healed. Very interesting wording. Oh, the Void. Here we go. Flying indestructible. The Void attacks each combat if able. The token that comes along with the Sentry. Ooh, here we go. Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom enters, creates two 3/3 colorless robot, villain, artifact, creature tokens named Doombot. As long as you control an artifact, creature, or plan, Doctor Doom is indestructible. At the beginning of your end step, you draw a card and lose a life. Lots of stuff going on with that one. Alright, we've made it to the end of another box. Uh, Alrighty. Let's get the next box going. Taskmaster. Continuing right along. I think we may have gotten to a point where we've opened most of the cards in the main set. Avenger is a symbol. Ooh, show and tell. Look at that art right there. Yeah, sweet. World War Hulk. Wow, what a pack. The heck is going on? And then a new card to us, Tony Stark. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand. The rest on bottom of your library in a random order. 4, and is it to transform? The Invincible Iron Man. Flying haste at the beginning of combat on your turn. You may put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. If it's an equipment, attach it to the Invincible Iron Man. Very cool. Wow. I think that was just 4 rares. Yeah, 2 regular rares and a mythic rare. Whoa. What a pack. What a pack. Alright. Yep. All cards we've seen before. So we can speed through this pack pretty quickly. Ooh, wait. The Mighty Thor Jane Foster. Flying. Whenever the Mighty Thor attacks, exile up to one target non-token artifact or creature, then return that card to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Whenever an equipment card... Wow, whenever an equipment you control enters, draw a card. Not even an equipment card. Just whenever an equipment. Interesting. Yeah, neat. Okay. Nothing new here. Oh, alright. All cards we've seen before. Nothing crazy or new here. The Wondrous Wasp. Yeah, cool comic book art. Ooh, now that is some sweet art right there. Yeah, awesome. Mhm. Shield, Daredevil. Okay, okay, okay. Cool stuff. Alrighty. Come on. Where's our stone? Where is our stone? Think we'll get one? Leave it in the comments. And I guess while we're here, what are you most excited about in this set? Anything you're particularly looking forward to? Anything you're looking to brew? Anything impacting a format that you care about? Is it good? If it could be different, how would you change it? Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, these are all pretty similar to before. Nothing really new. So yeah, I think once you've hit a few booster boxes, you've probably seen most of what you're going to see throughout the set. Yeah. Yep. Super Scroll. There's definitely a lot of support for various colors in here. Boom, the Sentry. Roxanne's again. Let's see what we're doing. Moving on to the next box. This will be the last of the play booster boxes in box number 1. The rest are all the ones you see in the background there. Dun, 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 dun. Here. Boom. We're speeding through. Speeding through. Take up the shield. Here, Monica. Fisk Tower. Right there. Oh, another of these arts of Captain America's shield. Another shield flying car. Tony Stark. Ooh, MODOK. Here we go. Here's something new. Let's talk about MODOK for a second. Legendary artifact creature villain. Flying lifelink. Pay 3 life. MODOK Knives. Activate only during your turn. Yeah. Creatures your opponents control get -2/-2. That's pretty sweet. You can just do that over and over and over again. There's not a once per turn restriction. So you just connive. If you have a deck that wants to lose life, it's a pretty efficient way to do it. Ooh, that's a cool art by Terry Dodson. Ooh, here's another great one. Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. May activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Add too many of any one color. Spend this mana only to activate abilities of creatures' sources. Another cool art. Ooh, there we go. Very cool. Absorbing Man. Here's another new one. At the beginning of your first main phase until your next turn, Absorbing Man becomes a copy of up to one target artifact. One target artifact, non-aura enchantment, or land, except his name is Absorbing Man. He's a legendary 4/4 human villain creature in addition to other types, and he has vigilance. Neat. Alright, last pack in this box. Ooh, Winter Soldier, Icy Assassin. Cool art. Alright, continuing right along. Another unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Let's breeze through this stuff. Oy, oy, oy. Ooh, the Scarlet Witch. This is a great printing. Look at that. Oh, here's Namor again. Different art. Coming of Galactus. Ooh, yeah, that is great. Voltron Artificial Malevolence. Loki, God of Mischief. Oh, with Storm and the thing in the art. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Ooh, heroic intervention. Look at the Hulk saving everybody here. Got the team on his back. It's also cool. It's a little bit more afraid in the eyes than I would have expected. Hmm, cool. Continuing on. Still waiting to hit that stone. Whoa. No way. I didn't realize there was an Archangel of Thune reprint. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Very cool. Wow, that was another 3 rare pack right there. Let's move this thing right along. Another Storm. All right, 3 more packs. Ooh. The Kingpin of Crime. Extort. Whenever you attack, you may pay 2 life. If you do until end of turn, creatures you control with toughness greater than the power assign combat damage equal to their toughness rather than their power. Extort is so great on that card. I love it. Nope, I was wrong. We actually have 3 more packs now left in here. Alrighty. Another Ultron. Our defeat. Pretty low land. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Let's get this box situated. Boom. Alright, on to the next box. Ooh. Let's check this out. Daredevil, Master Without Fear. I've seen it a couple times, but not in this treatment. Very cool comic book art. And continuing on. Yeah, we're hitting the loop now. The only card that is left that would excite me is our new stone. Let's see it show up. Boom. Nope. Captain America. Mechanic Villain. And let's bring these together. Um, Elektra. Okay. I think we can stop opening them in front of the camera now. Ooh, don't move. Nice. Bruce. Three, four, five, six. Still nothing. The search continues. All right, almost done with this box. All right, box done. Ooh, Aurelia the War Leader. Very cool. The Fing Fan Foom, a regular Namor. All right. 3 more boxes after this. Ooh, regular Kinpin art. Oh, and the Mighty Thor. Another 3 rares or mythics in a pack. Another Super Scroll. Oh, here's something interesting. This appears to be a first multiversal incursion. For each non-token creature you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it isn't legendary. Wow, wow, wee wow. That is pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. Alright, alright. Another mole man. Man, we got a lot of mole men. Nothing too crazy. It's a bunch of neat Marvel cards. Oh, Nick Fury. Got quite a few of those at this point. Ooh, here we go. Let's put these others to the side real quick. Thanos, the Mad Titan. Another 5-color identity. Death Touch, Lifelink, Mardu to cast it. A 4/4 Eternal Villain. You have Wooburg plus colorless, so put 2/1/1 counters on Thanos. Choose odd or even. Destroy each other creature with the mana value of the chosen quality. So yeah, that infamous snap. That's what you're seeing there. That was also in the Extinction event card we saw earlier. Scarlet Witch again. Vision, Arc Reactor. Just a little bit more, and we'll be done with this box. Will we get one by the end of these boxes? Mighty Thor. Alrighty. On to the next pack. Two more. Ooh. There we go. Mjolnir, Hammer Thor. When Mjolnir enters, it deals 4 damage to up to 1 target creature. Double all damage equipped creature would deal. Equip worthy. Creature is worthy if it's a legendary non-villain that's red and or white. Discard this card. It deals 2 damage to each creature. Very cool. It's interesting what they give an ability name versus not. If you look at these two cards right here, that last card with the cost doesn't have an ability name, whereas Street Justice and Legal Justice are names. If anybody knows why that is, tell us in the comments. All right. Down another box. Next box. All right. 2 more boxes after this one. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Continuing on. And continuing on. Light of Promise. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Basically, it says it's an enchantment aura, and whenever you gain life, put that many 1/1 counters on this creature. Alright. Another Loki. Ooh. Okay, okay. We got some cool cards. Let's just get through the rest real quick. First, we have Fury of the Horde. You may exile 2 red cards from your hand rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Untap all creatures that attack this turn. After this main phase, there is an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase. Nice. Yeah, yeah, looks great. Then we have Tony Stark holding the Iron Man mask like a skull. Let's see what the back looks like. Yep, yep. The Invincible Iron Man. Sweet. Sweet, sweet. Very cool cards here. Agent Phil Coulson again. He's everywhere. It's like Mr. Smith from The Matrix. Okay, another Tony Stark. Another Winter Soldier. Oh, another Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Full art foil. Look at that. Look at that shimmer. War Hulk. Kingpin's Enforcers. Alrighty. We've got about 6 packs left in this box. Let's get this done. Captain America Wings of Freedom. Saw that earlier. Yep, nothing of note in this pack. Arc Reactor. 2 more packs. One more pack, then we've got 2 boxes left. All right, let's tidy up a bit. We'll say you definitely get your fill of opening boxes when you help a store out. And it's a nice little way to get a full idea of the set, what the hits are, all that right in time for pre-release weekend. So yeah, definitely a good opportunity to get a feel for what things look like. All right, second to last box. Let's get it. Actually, move this. All right. First booster. Let's go. No big hits there. All right. Nothing here either. Cool art of the century, but we've seen so many of those that I'll leave that one alone for now. Ooh, foiled T'Challa. All right, we are getting close. Foil Agent Philip Coulson for that pack. Nothing of note in that pack. Alrighty, we've got about 6 packs left. Ba-ba-bum. Training Regimen and Baron Helmut. Super Scroll. A lot of cards whose color and color identity does not match. Storm and Thor for this pack. Ooh, that stone is like a mythic rare. I think we actually might go through 2 whole boxes of boxes and not get a single one. Ooh, that is cool. Let's get back to that in a second. Move all this other stuff. Look at this art. What a cool and powerful pose for a very powerful creature. Alright, I'll probably have to stop pretty soon. Getting a low battery warning. This probably will make this pack the last pack. And another shield car. Alright, due to the battery constraints, we're actually going to skip the last box. But thank you for watching. Got quite a few neat cards here. Definitely worth giving us a look. And then these cards will be available over pre-release weekend. And yeah, happy cracking packs to all of you out there.